my mother and dad separated and we moved away from here. They say absence makes the heart grow fonder. I just always wanted to come back.
Like so many people who grew up in West Virginia, the man who owns Reed's Mill, Larry Mustain, says he had to leave the state to see the region's real value. He and his uncle, Aubrey Reed, farmed together when he came back to West Virginia in 1975. He spent a lot of his childhood here, helping his uncle inside the mill. When his uncle passed away, Mustain decided to follow in his footsteps.
So much of what he taught me and what I knew, it's just in me. I don't even know it's there. There's the famous story they told about in the 50s that someone from the Greenbrier Hotel came here wanting a bag of yellow cornmeal to make cornbread for Eisenhower. At the time the guy came, my uncle was grinding white corn. And he told the guy that I just don't have any yellow. I could grind you some tomorrow, but I don't have any today. And the guy said, but it's for the president. Couldn't you grind some right now? And my uncle said, no. He can wait just like everybody else. I think that's the main thing I remember about him. He was a character.
Mustain sells a special heirloom corn called Bloody Butcher. This corn has been passed down for generations, just like this mill.
There's a formula that you have to follow to select seed corn from the Bloody Butcher. It's an open pollinated corn. You just plant it over and over. You don't have to get new seed every year like hybrid corn. And he had a formula of what he would pick out, so many reds, so many orange, so many white, so many speckled ears. And I should have wrote all that down. But I just, even though I was in my 40s and 50s after I came back here, I guess I just always thought he was going to be here.
Today, Reed's Mill attracts visitors from all over the state and beyond.
I've been here, I don't know how many times I've been here. Met Larry, who's a very interesting person, and I keep coming back. I just come attached to it, I guess.
Napier lives in Florida half of the year and in West Virginia during the summer. He says he's visited 40 mills across West Virginia. Reed's Mill was built in the late 1700s, but is in good shape compared with others in the state.
I've been in 4 mills, I think they're still grinding in the state. But, you know, they don't do very much grinding at all anymore in the mills.
The creek that runs behind the mill, and which used to power the stone grinder, begins here, at the base of Peters Mountain. This small but mighty creek once powered dozens of mills. Today, only Reed's Mill remains.
I think the ones that are here will be here. I think so. Because, you know, it's part of history, and we've lost enough of them.
Steve Dransfield lives a few miles from this mill. Like Mustain, his family has been farming in this valley for generations.
And it's just something you just never see anymore. I think it would be a real tourist draw to the area if we could have a few of these mills that are left standing to be fully operational.
He says Reed's Mill is part of his history too, and he'd like to help Mustain continue to keep the mill going.
It was always my dream to see all the belts and pulleys going and the water flowing through and the turbines turning and the grindstones grinding. But you know what he's able to do, you can come here today and you can see at least a small portion of what the whole operation was.
Mustain is in his 80s and he keeps this mill going the best he can. But he's getting older and he says he's not sure who will be here to help take over the mill after him. He has hopes that someone in his family, maybe one of his sons, will decide to take it on. But he's not ready to quit yet. Today, he grinds cornmeal and flour with an electric stone grinder. But his dream is to see the millstones up and running again, so the mill will grind cornmeal the old-fashioned way. For now, Mustain says he's happy just to continue grinding. He sells heirloom cornmeal, whole wheat flour, and another West Virginia specialty, buckwheat flour.
I'm clear out of buckwheat flour. And I've had 2 people, people was here the other day going to St. Augustine, Florida, wanted buckwheat. I just can't keep up.
Although drop-in customers can sometimes find the mill open as they pass through Monroe County, Mustain recommends people call ahead to make sure he can give visitors a tour. For Inside Appalachia, I'm Roxy Todd in Monroe County, West Virginia.
You can hear this story and more on the Inside Appalachia podcast. It's available on wvpublic.org or wherever you get your podcasts. That's Inside Appalachia. Get the podcast and you can listen on your own time.